tomatoes. We were told they're nature's superfood, great for the heart, the skin, and the gut. But what if I told you that the way most people eat tomatoes every single day is actually damaging their health? Silently, invisibly, and in some cases, fatally. This isn't fear-mongering, it's science. In 2023 alone, over 27 studies revealed shocking truths about common tomato habits. And one of them showed that a single mistake could raise inflammation markers in seniors by more than 76%. And here's the scary part. 99% of people over 60 do this mistake every single week, without even realizing it. So today, I'm exposing the 6 most dangerous ways people eat tomatoes. And trust me, mistake number 2 will leave you speechless. Researchers nearly refuse to publish their findings. But don't worry. Stick with me until the end, because I'll also reveal the absolute best and safest way to eat tomatoes, so you can still enjoy their benefits without risking your health. Before we dive in, let me ask you 2 quick questions. Have you ever felt unexplained bloating, heartburn, or fatigue after eating tomatoes? And second, do you store your tomatoes in the refrigerator? Drop your answers in the comments. I read and reply to as many as I can with personalized tips. Now, let's uncover the truth about tomatoes. Mistake 6. Refrigerating tomatoes. Let's start with mistake number 6. Refrigerating your tomatoes. Seems harmless, right? But when you put tomatoes below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, you trigger an enzymatic breakdown that destroys both flavor and nutrition. A University of Florida study tested over 25,000 tomato samples and found that refrigeration reduced vital compounds by 65%. In just 7 days. And here's the real kicker. Refrigeration shuts down over 400 genes in tomatoes. Once they're cold damaged, they never recover, even if you bring them back to room temperature. So, how should you store them? Keep unripe tomatoes on the counter, stems side down, around 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Ripe tomatoes? Eat them within 3 days. If you must store them longer, keep them in a cool pantry. Never the fridge. Mistake 5. Combining tomatoes with iron-rich foods. Number 5. Eating tomatoes with iron-rich foods. Tomatoes are packed with oxalates and phytic acid, which bind to iron and block absorption. If you're eating spinach, red meat, or fortified cereals with tomatoes, you could be cutting your iron absorption by up to 50%. For pregnant women athletes and people prone to anemia, this is a hidden danger. The fix. Wait at least 2 hours before mixing tomatoes with iron-rich foods, or pair them with vitamin C sources like bell peppers or citrus, which can offset the effect. Mistake 4. Ignoring nightshade sensitivity. Number 4. Ignoring nightshade sensitivity. Tomatoes are part of the nightshade family, which contains natural compounds called glycoalkaloids. For most people, no problem. But for about 15–20% of the population, these compounds trigger inflammation, joint pain, and digestive problems. In fact, a major study found that 74% of autoimmune patients improved their symptoms by simply eliminating nightshades like tomatoes for 90 days. If you struggle with joint pain, digestive issues, or skin flare-ups, try cutting tomatoes out for a month, then reintroduce them and see if symptoms return. Mistake 3. Eating overripe or damaged tomatoes. Number 3. Eating overripe or damaged tomatoes. This one is truly dangerous. Soft or spoiled tomatoes often contain invisible mycotoxins, toxic compounds from mold that can cause cancer, DNA damage, and even liver problems. Cooking doesn't help. In fact, it can concentrate these toxins. That slightly moldy tomato you throw into pasta sauce, you've just made a toxin concentrate. Rule of thumb. If one tomato in a batch looks bad, throw out the whole container. Never cut away the bad part and eat the rest. Mistake 2. Mixing tomatoes with certain medications. Number 2 is shocking. Tomatoes and medications. Tomatoes can interfere with blood thinners, antibiotics, beta blockers, thyroid meds, and even antidepressants. Why? Vitamin K affects blood thinners. The acidity of tomatoes blocks drug absorption. And compounds called furanocoumarins interfere with the same liver enzymes as grapefruit, leading to dangerous drug buildup in your bloodstream. If you're on medications, never eat tomatoes at the same time. Wait at least 2 hours. And always keep your tomato intake consistent if you're on blood thinners. Mistake number 1. Eating green tomatoes or tomato leaves. And finally, mistake number 1, eating green tomatoes or tomato leaves. These contain high levels of tomatine, a toxin that can cause nausea, abdominal pain, irregular heartbeat, and even hallucinations. Fried green tomatoes, they still retain 87% of their toxin. Tomato leaf tea, potentially deadly. Always eat fully ripe, red tomatoes, and remove all green parts before cooking. The right way to eat tomatoes. So now the big question, how do you eat tomatoes safely? Cook them with extra virgin olive oil. This increases lycopene absorption by 900%. Eat them between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., when your body absorbs antioxidants best. Pair them with basil or avocado for extra synergy. And choose varieties like San Marzano or cherry tomatoes, which are packed with more antioxidants and flavonoids. Handled properly, tomatoes can be one of the healthiest foods you eat, but only if you avoid the 6 mistakes we just covered. Now, let's tackle the elephant in the room. What's the biggest mistake you might be making with tomatoes? Mistake 2, mixing them with certain medications. This was such a hot topic that the FDA issued a public health advisory. But surprisingly, research on the interaction between tomatoes and prescription drugs is scarce. Most studies involve just a handful of participants, leaving huge gaps in our knowledge. In 2018, scientists published a desperate plea calling for more research into this area. They noted that the few studies that did exist had limitations, small sample sizes, short durations, and a lack of standardized tomato extracts. This makes it hard to draw firm conclusions about the effects of tomatoes on specific medications. Consequently, doctors have limited guidance on advising their patients. So while we know tomatoes can affect certain drugs, we don't know the exact mechanisms or the extent of the impact. This knowledge gap puts patients at risk. Many people don't realize that their seemingly harmless tomato consumption could be altering the effectiveness or safety of their medication. Doctors are left in the dark, unable to provide clear advice, and researchers are limited in their ability to investigate the issue without more resources. The FDA advisory highlights the urgency of this problem, but without further study, patients may continue to suffer the consequences of this common mistake. Why this matters to you. Just imagine if your medication isn't working properly because you enjoyed a delicious tomato and basil pasta unknowingly. Or perhaps you're taking a blood thinner and the added vitamin K from tomatoes is increasing your risk of bleeding. These scenarios aren't far-fetched. They're real concerns that patients face daily. By shedding light on this issue, we hope to empower you with knowledge so you can make informed choices about your diet and medications. Don't let a simple mistake compromise your health. Stay tuned for more updates on this topic and other critical health insights. Together, we can bridge the knowledge gap and advocate for the research we need to protect ourselves against hidden dietary dangers. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed digestive issues, fatigue, or joint pain after eating tomatoes? Drop your answers below. I'm replying to as many comments as possible. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button. Share it with a tomato-loving friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing health tips. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.